Why do I gotta put my dick away? The young man came down another step. Everybody in the movie's got his dick out his pants, beaten off, or somebody's sucking on him, or something. Look, the guy got off his stool now and gestured. People can see you, man, from outside. Come on now. The kid on the stairs broke out laughing and, finally, pushed his privates back in his slacks. Zipping up, he came on into the lobby. You're crazy, his older cousin repeated. You do that again, and I won't let you come in here no more. I'm not crazy, the younger guy said. I'm having fun. That's what everybody does here. You said so. What, you don't go in there and do it too sometimes? You told me you did. Not where everybody can see. Why not? That's what everybody else does. The other two were grinning, of course, but past its emotional peak, the conversation slid along its developmental slope into Spanish, now that the phallic display was again veiled. The kid came over to stand in the door with them while they talked of something else. A week or two later, when I was again in the Varieties balcony, again I looked over the rail to see the guy was back, in about the same seat. That day I brought in 3 cans of ginger ale. After drinking one, I decided I was going to leave early. Hey, I called down over the rail, where he was sitting, pants open, but for the moment only holding himself in his fist. You want a soda? I'm going to leave soon, and I don't want to carry these around with me. He looked up. Huh? Oh, yeah, thanks, man. He took the can I held down to him. Still leaning on the rail, I asked, your cousin downstairs decided to let you back in? He frowned, then realized what I must have been talking about. Oh, yeah, he lets me in for nothing. He's a good guy. You like it? Again, he considered. Yeah, it's okay. Guys don't crowd you here. I mean, if you ask them to leave you alone, sometimes you got to tell them, you know, move over. I don't like that. Somebody's sitting right next to me while I'm beating my meat. I mean, I don't want no blowjob or nothing. Some guys here, they like that. But that's just not my thing. You want to sit around and watch? I don't give a fuck about that. I mean, sure, sometimes guys stare, you know. I don't like that either, you know, just staring. Opening his eyes, he thrust his head forward in an imitation of an over-curious observer. But these guys are okay. He looked around at the other men a seat, a row, or 3 seats away. 2 glanced at him. 1 smiled. It's better than those places uptown, you know, where they come around and shine a fucking flashlight on you, scare you to death up there. I mean, you're beaten off and suddenly you got this flashlight in your face? No, this is nice here. These guys in here, they're nice. He gestured with the can I'd given him. Hey, thanks for the soda, man. Turning back around, he opened the tab, drank, sat it on the floor, and among the half-dozen in their seats about him, including, I saw once more, the Asian from last week, fell to his rhythmic work. The above would seem to require that someone point out vigorously, and with differing contents, our literature is full of such all-male scenes, similarly structured, that its charm, sociality, and warmth, if it has any, depend entirely on the absence of the woman, or at least depend on flattening the woman till she is only an image on a screen, whether of light or memory, reduced to pure sexuality, a magical essence, a mystical energy. She pervades, grounds, even fuels the entire process from which she is corporally, intellectually, emotionally, and politically absent. I was describing to a friend this evidently straight man, his openness to the gay men around him, his humorous exhibitionism, when suddenly she said, I want to see some of that, and all the sex you're talking about that goes on, too. A voracious reader with short, dark hair and a stocky little Hispanic woman, Anna, did temp work during the day. By night, she was a wonderfully talented guitarist and singer, working in the small clubs around the village. Would you ever take me? With you? It's dark in there. I laughed. You'd have to squint, at least to your eyes adjusted. What would happen if you took a woman in there? She went on. Probably everybody would get all upset and angry. I don't think so, I said. Couples come in sometimes. Mostly that's guys with prostitutes, but not always. About the worst thing that happens is that some fellow will sit a seat away from you and beat off. That, she said, I think I could handle. One Thursday afternoon, on purpose I chose a time when it wasn't too crowded, I took Anna not to the Variety, but to the Metropolitan. Another porn theater further down on 14th Street. I wore jeans, a red checked shirt, and contact lenses. Anna wore jeans, a man's white shirt, a denim jacket, and her thick pink-rimmed glasses. We hadn't discussed costume, but I thought for a first-time visit, she'd made a wiser choice than, say, heels, miniskirt, and a beaded halter. Somewhat larger than the Variety, the Metropolitan was set up differently. A horseshoe balcony ran around its second level. The walls were painted black. The Varieties were dark blue. Several stairways led up and down, and thus there was a good deal more traffic between levels, which somehow seemed a positive factor for taking someone unfamiliar with the place and who would be perceived, certainly, as an unfamiliar visitor. When we paid our entrance fee and stepped in, the Greek manager suddenly stepped up and took my forearm so that, at first not noticing, Anna walked on ahead. If I hear she's taken any money, man, he said to me in a heavy accent, I'm going to throw you both out of here. This ain't no whorehouse. Somewhat startled, I said, don't worry. Patting my arm, he went on in a more explanatory tone. 'Cause the pimps bring women in here and try to turn tricks right in the movie. I can't have that going on. I mean, this is a nice place. People come in here to have fun, not to pay no whores. Sure, I said, and pulled away to catch up with Anna.